problems and share knowledge with each other. In this way, we can improve the safety of the imported products as well as the global supply chain. And I am sure that today we are going to have meaningful discussion and knowledge sharing with each other. I hope that through this forum, we can build our future together. I would like to thank all the distinguished guests for making this event more meaningful with their presence as well as our online audience. Thank you very much for your attention.
네, 고맙습니다.
Thank you very much for your opening remarks. He explained about the significance and importance of this forum, and as I mentioned, product safety is not an issue of a single country, but requires international cooperation. And he said that this is why it is important to have this forum today. Next, we would like to listen to congratulatory remarks from Mr. Kim Sang-mo, the Director General from COTS. We will invite him to the stage with a big round of applause. Nice to meet with you all. I am Kim Sang-mo, the Director General in charge of Product Safety Policy from Korea Agency for Standards and Technology. Since the pandemics, the non-face-to-face economy expanded and online consumption rapidly increased, and the global supply chain is being reshaped due to the exit from Sinocentrism affected by the conflict between the US and China. And in this regard, I am very pleased to host this forum to discuss our product safety policies and global cooperation. I would like to thank Mr. Lee Jong-young, the chair of the Product Safety Innovation Forum, and Mr. Jeong In-kyo, the president of Korea Security Agency of Trade and Industry, as well as Ms. Anjali Sood from ACCC, Mr. Yasushi Takakura from Japan's METI. I would also like to thank Ms. Katarzyna Bednarz from Poland's UOKiK. And I would like to thank Deputy Director Sabrina Keller from the US CPSC, as well as Mr. Kang Sun-chan from KIPS. I would also like to thank Ms. Lee Yoon-young, the representative of a civic group, as well as all our online audience for being here with us for this forum. We are surrounded by many products that make our lives more enriched, such as clothing that we wear every day and smartphones that we always carry with ourselves. If such product safety is not ensured, then anytime our daily life could be threatened by the hazards of any products. And most of the product safety management systems were created after experiencing painful experience of the loss of human life and the loss of property. We have to learn lessons from our past and look closely at domestic and overseas changes in our environment to keep our consumers safe from unsafe products. In Korea, based on the Framework Act on Product Safety, we're making multifaceted efforts to eliminate illegal defective products, including imported ones. We have, first of all, KC certification system, under which we designate the product categories with concerns over potential accidents, and we classify such products as the products subject to safety management. Also, we conduct monitoring on overseas recalled products. We also analyze statistical data related to product safety so that we can systematically conduct the safety investigation of the products being distributed in Korea. We are also expanding the use of unsafe product sales blocking system and strengthening our cooperation with consumer groups to block unsafe products from entering our online and offline markets. With the expansion of non-face-to-face economy, online consumption increased, and with an increase in FTA among different countries, the global supply chain has changed. So we need to prepare a better product safety management system so that we can prevent any blind spot in our product safety management efforts. This is not an issue that a single country can solve. For example, it cannot be solved by Korea alone. It is important to make a mutual cooperation across the globe to ensure product safety. I hope that through today's forum, we will seek various policy strategies to ensure the safety of imported products. COTS will actively reflect the discussions and solutions that we talked about in this forum in the Korean government's policies, and we will provide you the strong support for this effort. And I would like to thank you all again for your interest and support for this effort.
Thank you so much. We just heard from Director General Kim Sang-mo from COTS. Through this forum, we can secure safety for the products, and also we can enhance cooperations regarding that. So he emphasized various measures to secure product safety. In order to safeguard our customers, we should have a joint effort in the international arena. And then next, we are going to have a keynote presentation. For this, we are going to invite President Chung In-kyo from Korean Security Agency of Trade and Industry. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome him with a big hands. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chung In-kyo from Korean Security Agency of Trade and Industry. So it is my great pleasure to serve as a keynote presenter for Global Product Safety Innovation Forum. My special thanks go to Director General Kim Sang-mo of COTS and also President Hee Jae-man of KIPS. Thank you for the invitation. So I'm serving as a president of the Korean Security Agency of Trade and Industry. So for the opening remarks and welcoming remarks, we invited the operating committee head and also Director General of COTS and listening their remarks. And I thought that the role of those agencies and that of Korean Security Agency of Trade and Industry are more or less the same. For the security of the nation, Korea Security Agency of Trade and Industry deal with safety issues regarding the secured materials. So I prepared some materials. So first, you can see global supply chains trends. So in the age of globalization, we experienced very sharp growth of global supply chains. So cross-border trade was 2 times or 3 times higher than the economic growth. So the supply chain has been expanded in very fast speed, and export and import of products has been increased in the whopping speed. But as you can see here, the cross-border trade has been reduced, and also international growth has been deteriorated as well. About 70% of world trade is related to global supply chain. But due to various factors and reasons, and the supply chain has been constrained. So last October, The Economist deal with homeland economics. So the terminology has been introduced in the journal. So protectionism that has been widespread across the world. So the terminology represents such changes. So protectionism, and that has been expanding because of conflict between United States and China, an increasing number of governments is providing subsidies in order to protect their own industry. And also in order to expand the supply chains, and the many countries have the fierce competitions and allied countries, and they want to build trust supply chains and regional supply chains. And when it comes to the export control products, there are the heavy controls. So as such, tight grip and the tight control is expanding across the world. The supply chain in the global market has been distorted as well. So when we see the global economy, we can see the block mechanism of those economies and general expectation that in the decade and the 2 decade, such the phenomena will expand further. And also we are experiencing the global war and the conflict. So across the world, we are experiencing uncertainties. And I believe you are quite familiar to this information. As for the high tech and the advancement, there has been great subsidies from the national government. That's why we can see the distortion of supply chains. So within bloc, the trade has been increasing. We witnessed the phenomena by the year 2022. But these days, we witnessed the reduced trade within blocks and outside blocks. So because of the protectionism, and we are witnessing such changes. And the next year, United States will have the elections. So we should wait and see of the trends. But I believe former President Trump as a candidate, I believe he is going to pursue the protectionism. And here you can see the book written by Robert Lighthizer. The title is No Trade is Free. So this title has a great implication indeed. So when we see the future, the United States will have more strong and the tight grip on the international trade. So depending on the outcome of the election in the United States next year, we might see the tight protectionism in the global economy. So now I'd like to share some information about the activities done by Korean Security Agency of Trade and Industry. In order to enhance your understanding, I should give explanation about these terminologies, but time is limited, so I'd like to skip that. When it comes to the secured materials, dual use is a quite important concept. So these normal items and everyday items, and they can be used as a dual-use item. Because of that, the everyday items should be controlled as well. And there has been very tight grip and control regarding these key materials. And as for technologies, there have been great control as well. When we see the recent development, United States also have a tight control regarding investment as well, and it's likely to be expanded further down the road. So today we have discussions about supply chain and the reshuffling, and these changes will give a great impact on supply chains. So these are a few the factors we should consider regarding export control. And you can see the items and the countries we should bear in mind regarding supply chain management. And it is inevitable to see conflict between China and United States. And the United States will have all the resources in order to reduce the trade between the China and also allied countries. And the de-risking becomes the main and the policy stream that will be implemented by United States. And beside that, these trade the policies will be continuously pursued by United States. So regarding today's topic, I'd like to share my the ideas. At the time of WTO, so there have been the compliance by WTO, the members regarding international rules and regulations. But when I compare past and the present, the countries, the understanding about international regulation has been reduced, and also the role of WTO has been weakened as well. So in the past, there has been very strong penalty when it comes to the violation of international regulations. So that was things in the past. So we witnessed great changes. And as I mentioned, we are witnessing distortion of supply chain in the international market. So electrical, the appliances, and everyday products. And regarding that, we are witnessing increased hazard regarding safety. And as for the imported products, and we are experiencing great the hazard and risk indeed. And that is related to security of the national economy. And today in this forum, and we have in-depth discussions about safety of imported products. In the sense, today's forum is very meaningful. So with the last a few words, I'd like to wrap up keynote presentation. So international trade, the order is shaped by United States. So the investment and the technologies and also the products, and those are under very tight control. So we are witnessing the scope of trade control is expanding. So increasing number of countries have a renewed understanding about trade practices, and also they want to protect their own and the domestic market. Increasing number of countries, and they want to have the very closed the supply chain based on their alliance. So that is the reality we witness today. So it is important to make the further effort in order to secure safety of imported products, and we should put great priority on these issues. When you see the practices around the world, and that there are great uncertainties, and that there are greater hazard and risk related to products. But at the same time, we can see some further opportunities to improve our current practices. So when you look back our history, whenever we face difficulties and challenges, and we made effort in order to overcome that, and once we made the great effort to overcome that, and we had a great stride of developments. So in this the challenging time, the KIPS is making tremendous effort in order to secure product safety, and being led by its leadership, we can have a safer world. Thank you. Well, thank you so much. We just heard from President Chung In-kyo from Korean Security Agency of Trade and Industry, and he shared his insightful ideas about the supply chain reshuffling and the product safety management. As the supply chain is changing and the product safety policy is even more important, so it is important to have necessary policies. Thank you for your insight.
Now we're going to move on to presentation session. Presentations will be made by presenters from Australia, Japan, Korea, Poland, and the US. Then we would like to begin the session of presentation. The first presentation is about strategies to manage unsafe imported products. It will be presented by Assistant Director in charge of the Household Product Safety, Anjali Sood. For your information, it is way over 10 p.m. in Australia, and thank you very much for making the presentation at such a late at night. And we would like to invite her with a big round of applause.
Thank you so much. I'll just share my screen as well for some slides. Just one moment, please. So thank you so much for having me. My name is Anjali Sood, and I'm an Assistant Director working within the Consumer Product Safety Division at the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission. And I'm delighted to talk to you about product safety challenges and management strategies relating to imported products. To provide some context, I will talk briefly about my agency, the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, or locally known as the ACCC, and I'll discuss our specific role with regards to product safety. I will then outline some product safety challenges with regards to imported products and ways in which the ACCC is looking to manage and address these challenges, with a focus of educating and engaging with international suppliers. The ACCC is an independent statutory authority. We have national responsibility to administer and enforce the Competition and Consumer Act and other legislation promoting competition, fair trading, and regulating national infrastructure. Our purpose is to make markets work for consumers. Of most relevance today, the ACCC has a role in administering the Australian Consumer Law, or the ACL, which forms part of the Competition and Consumer Act. The ACL lays down a broad range of protections for consumers, from prohibiting misleading, deceptive, and unfair products to ensuring that consumer goods sold in Australia are safe. Product safety is an enduring priority for the ACCC, and each year we identify additional priorities to minimise and raise awareness of the risks posed by unsafe consumer goods. As you can see, strengthening product safety online is a priority for the ACCC in 2023 and 24. The ACCC has a shared jurisdiction with other agencies for product safety regulation of consumer products. Under this model, the ACCC is the lead national regulator, and other state and territory specialist regulators have similar roles in their state or in relation to specific products, such as medicines, chemicals, vehicles, or food. Which agency takes up a product safety issue can depend on how widespread it is, its seriousness, and whether the product involved is a general consumer good or is regulated under a specific regime. As the national regulator, the ACCC works to identify and address product safety hazards that are posed by general consumer goods not covered by a specialist regime. The ACCC can take enforcement action, engage in broad compliance and education activities to ensure that businesses understand and comply with product safety responsibilities, and we also engage in consumer awareness activities to ensure that consumers understand their rights. In Australia, suppliers are expected to ensure their products are safe, and they must comply with the product safety regulations if selling to the Australian market, even if they're based overseas. If a product is not safe, consumers have the right to seek a remedy, which may include a refund, replacement, or a repair. Consumers can also seek compensation for damages caused by a safety defect in a product. A challenge for the ACCC, and I'm sure for international regulators globally, is the ability to protect consumers from unsafe imported goods in a time of expanding globalization. While international trade has many benefits, it has also opened up a vast array of safety problems. And this is highlighted in the recent 2021 OECD Online Product Safety Sweep, which the ACCC co-led with our colleagues at the Korea Consumer Authority. The results of the sweep indicate that foreign and offshore suppliers had significantly higher rates of non-compliance and product safety requirements than the product safety requirements of domestic suppliers. These results suggest that there may be a lack of awareness among offshore suppliers that product safety requirements differ between countries and that they must comply with the local laws of the countries that they're selling to. To add to this complexity, challenges with offshore suppliers is further enhanced by the difficulty in enforcing local laws in an overseas market. It's logistically challenging, as well as there being issues with jurisdictional reach. We believe that the strategies which foster a program of support to help offshore suppliers understand and comply with Australian product safety obligations is a key step to addressing this issue. However, in order to do this, robust and collaborative relationships with our international counterparts is needed. International and regional cooperation presents an opportunity to share learnings and compliance strategies and efforts, which we can then inform to develop domestic strategies and approaches to manage and address non-compliant imported products. This approach is supported by UNCTAD's first recommendation on product safety, which was released in 2020, which aims to reduce the flow of unsafe products being traded internationally by strengthening ties among consumer product safety authorities. So the question is, how do we address this growing challenge in an ever-expanding and complex trading landscape? In 2023 and 24, the ACCC continues to focus on strengthening product safety online. We use a range of measures to implement this priority, including a variety of compliance and engagement activities, as well as undertaking monitoring, surveillance, and enforcement action. I'd like to highlight two key strategies used to manage the risk of unsafe imported products to improve product safety online. The first one is one that you might be aware of is the Australian Product Safety Pledge. This was launched in 2020 and was signed by 5 online marketplaces. We have released 2 annual reports which illustrate the innovative use of technology combined with education and communication measures which promoted seller compliance. Also, 98% of regulator-initiated takedown requests were removed within 2 business days. Since launching the pledge, the ACCC has been approached by other jurisdictions to share our processes and learnings, and as a result, we developed a pledge toolkit to support the adoption of similar pledges in other jurisdictions. It also included a project plan and sample templates to assist other jurisdictions. And the second I wanted to raise, which I'll talk in a bit more detail about, is a recent project we've embarked on called the Offshore Supplier Outreach Project, or the OSO project. This exercise seeks to better understand key markets and to evaluate education and engagement strategies that can be applied to offshore suppliers to improve their awareness of and compliance with Australia's product safety laws. As a complementary exercise to the pledge, we see opportunities to better understand and work with offshore suppliers to ensure that they understand their obligations. The pledge tackles online product safety issues via intermediaries, being the platforms, whereas this is exercise we are looking to explore issues directly with the source through offshore suppliers, peak bodies, and other regulators. As part of the OSO project, we'll be looking to develop a holistic product safety education and engagement strategy targeted to offshore suppliers, which is informed by research and scoping activities. The scoping exercise will lay the groundwork for the development of a holistic product safety compliance strategy to target offshore suppliers. It will do this by identifying who we should target and how, which will then inform what we intend or the outputs should be. This could include, for instance, developing a suite of educational resources in culturally appropriate formats for offshore suppliers, enhanced cooperative arrangements with international regulators, and harnessing and building new relationships with industry associations. Although we are still in the scoping stage of this project, we wanted to share some initial findings and high-level observations gathered so far. So over the period of 2020 to 22, the majority of toy-related recalls recorded by the ACCC were sourced by foreign suppliers, and the toys games category has the highest rate of non-compliance out of the 7 categories audited in the 2021 OECD Product Safety Suite. Baby toys and small powered magnets have featured in various Australian data sets as being products of concern. And according to the 2021 OECD sweep results, online marketplaces had a higher average non-compliance rate compared to online retailers. So these findings will help inform the development of any education and engagement strategies. To progress the OSO project, we're seeking to connect with our international colleagues to identify approaches which support offshore suppliers to comply with domestic product safety regulations and to share experiences and learnings, because it's only through the information sharing at a global level that we can develop robust and effective strategies to tackle this issue locally. As such, we would greatly appreciate any insights you may have regarding approaches used by your organisations to educate and engage with offshore suppliers on product safety issues. If you have any learnings or data to share and would like to discuss the project further, please don't hesitate to contact us via email. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm happy to take any questions or comments. Thank you.
네, 고맙습니다.
Thank you very much for your presentation. She shared with us Australia's strategy for managing unsafe imported products. She shared with us the content of OSO and the outreach project activities for overseas suppliers, along with case examples, which were very impressive.
번째
Let's move to the second, the presentation. For this, we are going to invite the Mr. Yasushi Takakura from Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, Japan. Trends of product safety in Japan will be shared by our speaker. So let's invite him. Please welcome him with a big hands. So are you able to hear me? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm from Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, Japan. I'm in charge of product safety. Are you able to hear me? So Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry is making effort for the product safety. So I'd like to share some information about trends of product safety in Japan. So I'd like to send my sincere thanks for inviting me in this meaningful forum. So I'd like to go into the main topic. So these are the agenda of my talks. And first, I'd like to share some the information about product safety policy. Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, which is METI, is implementing relevant policies based on 4 Product Safety Act. So those 4 acts have been introduced in this slide. So these are the main contents of 4 Product Safety Acts. So METI is the preventing product hazard based on these 4 Safety Act. So the products which can pose and the possible danger can be controlled based on these related acts. The government designates the products with a potential hazard, and the manufacturers and importers of these products must notify METI before starting manufacturing or importing. And also, we have a PS mark scheme. So as for the products which should be controlled, and the METI should have a PS mark. And also, third-party testing is required for some products. And next, I'd like to share information about serious product accident reporting and disclosure system. So in Japan, there have been a few cases of serious product accidents in the case, and they should be reported within the 10 days. And after collecting information about those the oxidants, the Japanese government release and disclose information, and the follow-up measures should be collected as well. So in Japan, there is an organization called NITE, and that conducts investigation and analysis for the cause of oxidants. So when serious product accident occurred, related information is disclosed by Japanese government. Second topic is activity on e-commerce products. So as for the e-commerce, we have various challenges. So I'd like to share some data. So in the year 2022, the market size of B2C transaction related to product sales has been increased in very sharp speed. So when you see the online marketplace, the number of serious product accident is increasing. That's why it is important to share information to the platform users, and we are providing trainings and educations in order to prevent the serious product accidents. And this is information about the current situation of violated products sold on the internet. Earlier, I introduced 4 major acts in order to control product safety. As for the violations, the Japanese government has a very tight grip. So for the last few years, there has been no great increase as for the violations. So it's because of very active patrolling activities done by METI, and also we are doing the market surveillance in very active manner. Even though the trend does not go up, but the sheer number is pretty high. So as you can see here, there is the close collaboration between METI and major e-commerce platforms. Based on the close joint effort, and we are controlling the unsafe products. So as for the violation cases, so METI asked to delete the products on the shopping list. So when there is no actions and respond from platform and the operator, and we are having follow-up measures. And also the platform, the users have a collaboration with the METI in order to have better control and the patrol of products. So these are the more detailed information about safety control. This is a voluntary effort done by the platform, the platform and the operators. So as you can see here, 7 major platform operators engaged in product safety pledges. So those are the voluntary efforts, and that are a few examples to secure product safety in Japan. So this is the contents of a product safety pledge, and there are 12 different items here. So when you have time, please take a look on the contents of a product safety pledges. This is the last topic of my talks, which is a review of a product safety regulations. Recently in Japan, there has been the new developments. So I'd like to introduce 3 cases. The first case is the accident investigations. This is a ball that expands with water. So magnets and the balls that expand with water, and those are sold for the children's. So those are the toy items for the children. So when children mishandle these the toy items, that can lead to great hazard. So METI in Japan is selecting the products that can has the great the hazard and the potential of causing hazard. As for that, PS the mark scheme will be introduced. Second case is a gas torch. And I believe that many of you have been used these products. So as for the camping and outdoor the activities, gas torches are frequently used, and when we see the current trend, the use of a gas torch has been increased in Japan, and there have been related increase of related accidents. So in order to prevent that, METI in Japan is controlling gas torch under the tight control scheme. The last case. So as I said, the products sold on the internet is increasing. That's why we should have more effort in order to secure safety on the internet environments. And also increasing number of the overseas the manufacturers have a direct sales to the Japanese consumers. So related to that, we are witnessing increasing trend of the accidents. So METI is making effort in order to formulate new regulations. So this is a very brief presentation, but I'd like to wrap up my talks here. Thank you for listening. Well, thank you for the presentation. Like it is, we concluded the second presentation. For this Japanese case, we invited Mr. Yasushi Takakura. He shared the regulations and also trends that is taking place in Japan. He introduced 3 different cases, and thank you for that.
Next, we would like to listen to a presentation by Mr. Kang Song-chan, the team leader from Imported Product Management Team of KIPS. Please welcome him with a big round of applause. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm going to make presentation on imported product safety management and customs clearance. My name is Kang Song-chan. I am team leader from Import Product Management Team of KIPS. Let me begin my presentation. I will first talk about the importance of imported product safety management, safety investigation method, and current status of safety investigation in Korea. I will also talk about imported product detections, and lastly, have a look at future directions for imported product safety management. First, let me talk about the imported product safety management centered around the relevant laws, regulations, and history. This is the key point. We share illegal and recalled product information from CUTS and import clearance information from KCS. And we block the importation of hazardous products to Korea. And we have relevant regulations like the Framework Act on the Safety of Products, Electrical Appliances and Consumer Product Safety Control Act, and Special Act on the Safety of Children's Products. About 292 categories of products are applied with these laws. And we conduct safety testing for imported products according to the Article 246 of the Customs Act on safety inspection of goods. So this is the legal basis. And I would like to explain about the collaborative inspection process. First of all, the importers make import declaration. Then The importer should register the product in CS registration system, and companies that fully complied with our regulations can pass the screening, but companies that have histories of non-compliance with our laws and regulations should receive testing from our organization. And we offer the result of the screening to the Korea Customs Service. And depending on the result, if it is compliant with the regulation, the product can be distributed to the Korean market. If it's not complying with our regulations, then it cannot enter the Korean market. This is the history of imported product safety management. From September 2014, we set up a collaborative inspection office and dispatched one person to Incheon Customs. And in April 2023, we dispatched one inspector to Busan Newport Customs. As such, we dispatched our personnel to customs offices in many parts of Korea for imported product safety management. This is the safety investigation method. First, we conduct certification authenticity checks. And we also check specific labeling and expressions, and we check if they comply with our regulations and laws. And as for labeling, we check their safety verification or certification number and the date of manufacture or lot number. We also check the business operator's address, phone number, the country of manufacture, country of origin, and expressions required by item-specific safety requirements. And for suspicious products, we request specialized labs to conduct testing on the safety of the products. Especially, we request product testing for children's products and household products. As for electrical appliances, we check the equivalence. For example, the KOLAS accredited testing labs inspect the equivalence of electrical appliances. And our current status of safety investigations. From 2014 till 2023, this graph shows the statistics we collected. The total number of inspections has increased continuously every year, and our 10-year average detection rate is 27.6%. More specifically, the highest number of inspections is from Incheon Customs, and Incheon Airport has the highest number of detections and detection rate, which is 40.3%. And please have a look at the number of inspections for children's products. We had the highest number of inspections for children's products, and in the case of household products, they take up half of the number of inspections. This is the status by country. In our number of inspections of imported products, China takes up the largest portion, both in terms of the number of inspections and in terms of the number of detections, which is followed by Japan, the US, Hong Kong, and Germany. And our current status of safety investigations. We conduct intensive inspection, and in 2022, we conducted 5 intensive inspections. Especially in spring, when a new semester begins, we conduct intensive inspection on stationeries and school supplies. And in May, which is the month of family, we conduct intensive inspection on toys and gift items. In June, we intensively inspect summer items, and in fall, there are many people going on a travel and camping, so we intensively inspect travel and camping items in fall. And in winter, we intensively inspect heating supplies. In terms of the detection rate, you can see that the items under intensive inspection show higher rate of detection. And let's have a look at specific case examples of imported product detections. In the case of electrical products, the power supply products were found not to comply with the certification. And we also had the products that didn't comply with the labeling. For example, it was a labeling non-conformity issue. Also, there was a misrepresentation of certification information on the products. Although this case is not common, this is a lighting device on which the certification information was marked, but it was a fake information. We had 13,000 such cases where the certification information was actually fake information. Also, there were problems with major components. For example, there were changes in the major components. In terms of household products, there were button-type batteries that were not certified. The chrome-type button batteries are not subject to the inspection, but we have a specific type of button-type batteries that are subject to the inspection. And these days, especially in winter, heat packs are distributed a lot in the market, and there were heat packs that exceeded the tolerance of temperature. It exceeded the maximum possible temperature. And we have children's products cases as well. There were children's products, especially school supplies, that didn't comply with the certification, and labeling non-conformity took place on toys. And many toys didn't display the information about the manufacturer's AS contact information. And around 367,200 toys were found to have false information on their products. And I would like to talk about the future directions for imported product safety management in Korea. As we discussed before, we dispatched 7 employees to 4 customs offices in Korea. We are collaborating with the customs office and conduct collaborative inspection, but still, I feel that we have a blind spot in the imported product safety management. So going forward, we need to expand the collaborative inspection because the customs office located in Jeju Island and Yeosu are not doing collaborative inspection with us. So we have to increase the collaborative inspection with customs offices. And in March 2023, we strengthened the safety inspections of electric boards and low-speed electric motorized vehicles and other motorized personal mobility devices have been newly designated as the products that require safety inspections. These days, many accidents have taken place due to the unsafe motorized or electric boards. This will be all for my presentation. Thank you for your attention. Thank you, Mr. Kang Song-chan, for your presentation. He shared with us how Korea is managing the safety of imported products. He shared with us the content of collaborative inspection and customs clearance.
하도록 하겠습니다.
Let's move to the fourth presentation. So, cooperation between the Customs Service and Market Surveillance Authority in Poland will be introduced by Ms. Katarzyna Bednarz from Poland. Please welcome her with a big hands.
Good evening. Thank you for inviting Poland to share our experience on cooperation between Customs Service and Product Safety Authority, which we also call Market Surveillance Authority. I'm happy to be here and to have an opportunity to share, to explain how Customs Service cooperates with market surveillance authorities and what elements do work in Poland. During my short presentation, I will focus on practical tools and procedures we have adopted to enhance consumer product safety on Polish market. At the end, I will show you some statistics which picture the effectiveness of our solutions. There are three actors in the Polish consumer product safety system. First, the National Revenue Administration, it means Customs Service, which is entitled to stop goods at borders. Although the main task of the Customs Service is to collect taxes and duties, non-fiscal tasks are as important as fiscal ones. So customs authorities take actions to protect human and animal health or to protect natural environment. Secondly, the trade inspection, which is a market surveillance authority responsible for carrying out inspections on non-food consumer products and a day-by-day cooperation with field customs officers. And last but not least, the Office of Competition and Consumer Protection, which plans and coordinates nationwide joint projects executed by the trade inspection on investigating compliance and safety of imported products, including financing laboratory tests from the office budget. Because the Office of Competition and Consumer Protection is a central governmental agency appointed to shape consumer product safety policy and to supervise the trade inspection activities. Why we cooperate? All three parties are convinced that our multilateral cooperation is a vital element to protect consumers and professional users against dangerous or non-compliant products entering to the European Union single market from third countries. The Customs Service tries to find a balance between the free movement of goods on the European market and a need to ensure a high level of safety of products. Customs officers are the first barrier where dangerous products can be stopped. However, they aren't entitled by the law to carry out complete market surveillance or safety checks. They only initiate a procedure. Cooperation helps us to support each other actions. For example, it's easier to sample products at the border. You can sample from bigger volume of products. We can share our testing facilities because the office runs 3 laboratories while the Customs Service has 5 laboratories. What's more, thanks to enhancing exchanging of information and data, market surveillance authorities can learn on market trends. It helps to create risk profiles better to eliminate dangerous products from the market, or while planning joint actions, joint projects. We think a creation of network of coordinators, it means a network of contact persons who are experts in the product compliance and safety legislation in the customs service and in the trade inspection, the most effective tool. Field customs officers know to whom to contact to within their organization, while checking products, to whom consult before sending a request to the market surveillance authority. What's more, customs coordinators can create risk profiles themselves on the local level in the customs IT system. Next, we together elaborate checklists on the national level, and there are some checklists created on the European Union level. The checklist is a guidance paper with a few questions helping a field customs officer to decide what to do with a product. The European Union regulation on market surveillance allows to exchange data on products or importers who placed dangerous products on the market between authorities. We also run joint actions on different levels, on the European Union level, regional or national ones. Planning joint actions, we choose who should be involved in, what to inspect, what requirements, how to operate, when to start, or how long to cooperate to accomplish expecting results. On this slide, you can see an example of a checklist for customs on electrical equipment. At the beginning of each year, the customs service and the office meet to plan actions for a coming year, like subjects of a common training courses, for example, on how to recognize dangerous products, on new regulations or requirements regarding products adopted on the European Union level. Customs officers have access to and can review the European Union IT system called SafetyGate RAPEX. It's an IT exchange of information on dangerous non-food consumer products system maintained by the European Commission. On the national level, we establish a market surveillance coordination group. Consists of representatives of the customs service, the office, and the trade inspection coordinators, which meets usually twice a year to exchange views on how the system operates, to discuss emerging problems, or to consult plans. When does the customs service initiate control under the product safety and compliance European Union legislation? According to the EU regulation on market surveillance, a customs officer can suspend a release of product in particular cases. For example, when the product is not marked in accordance with the Union law, the European conformity mark, CE mark, hasn't been affixed at all, while it should have been. The products possess a serious risk to health, safety, or environment. The procedure starts when a customs officer chooses a consignment to be inspected based on a risk analysis. The customs IT system defines a risk area, what to check, points a type of inspection, documentary or visual, or sampling to laboratory tests, and methods, how to perform it, what requirements should be checked. The customs officer requests trade inspection for an enforcement note whether a product is safe or in compliance with the European Union legislation via IT tool called the Coordination and Data Exchange Platform System Single Window. Trade Inspection Inspector issues an enforcement note in which determines if the product is safe or compliant with the European legislation or not. The inspector can inform the customs officer that the product must be tested in a laboratory. When a violation is significant, for example, forbidden chemicals in a toy were detected, the customs officer bans release for a free circulation of such product. It means this product cannot cross the European Union borders anymore in any of the customs entry points. Sometimes importers request destruction of products in such cases. Through IT system, we exchange the following data. Data about the product, contact details of the economic operator responsible for the product. A customs officer describes why a consignment has been stopped, while the trade inspection inspector describes non-compliance and indicates what requirements applied. Sometimes the inspector can recommend what needs to be done to release a product for free circulation. So some correction actions. On this slide, you see statistics in 2022. Over 1,000 times, customs officers requested trade inspection whether stopped products were safe or not. As you see, in 80% of cases, they weren't. So products were not released for free circulation. Last but not least, when we plan joint projects, we take into account the following aspects. Of course, previous results of inspections on the market, consumer complaints, media and industry organization signals about non-compliance, data from the European Union exchange of information systems like safety gate RAPEX, season period, a local economic situation, sale trends, and new regulations, new requirements adopted on the European Union level, as well as availability of testing facilities and resources. Next 4 slides show results of our joint projects run from 2021 till 2023. I won't read this. You can read about them by yourself and see how effective they were. Like in Australia and in Japan and in Korea, mainly we focus on safety of toys, as safety of our children is the highest priority. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for the presentation. We just heard from Ms. Katarzyna Bednash, and well, together with the Customs Office. So Office of Competition and Consumer Production is making effort in order to safeguard the consumers.
We're going to move on to the next presentation. Next presentation is about the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission's experience sharing. The presentation will be made by Sabrina Keller, the Deputy Director from U.S. CPSC. Please welcome her with a big round of applause.
Thank you so much, everybody. It's a pleasure to be with you here today. I will share my slides. Excellent. Well, thank you. My name is Sabrina Keller, and I would like to take just a few minutes to describe the import surveillance program we have built in the United States over the last 15 years. So the mission of my agency, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, or CPSC, is to protect consumers from the unreasonable risk of injury or death from the use of thousands of different types of consumer products. Most consumer products in the United States, of course, are manufactured overseas in other countries and are imported into the United States. Therefore, one way we protect consumers is by establishing a border presence and trying to intercept any dangerous products before they reach store shelves and consumers' homes. The map in front of you is a visual depiction of the over 320 official ports of entry into the United States. My agency does not have staff at all of these ports, unlike US Customs, but we have placed investigators at the largest ports and in all modes of transport: ocean, air, truck, rail, and more recently, express consignment. A big key to our success is our physical co-location at the ports every day, working side by side with Customs. The other thing we've done is formalized that partnership with a variety of agreements. We signed our very first memorandum of understanding back in 1990, and that allows us to share data and information with Customs and vice versa. We risk assess or target incoming shipments of consumer products in several different ways. Perhaps the most important one is the first on the list. We have built our own internal targeting system. We call that the RAM, which receives a feed of data directly from US Customs into our system in almost real time. About every 5 minutes, we receive data on incoming shipments, and our system risk assesses that data. We have a risk scoring algorithm which helps our investigators choose which shipments are the highest risk and which ones they want to physically examine at the port. That risk algorithm takes into account many different factors: all the suppliers, all the actors in the supply chain, country of origin, the product, and so forth. I'll also mention that CBP, US Customs, does some targeting on our behalf as well. The investigators we have at the ports are officially called compliance investigators. The first 4 bullet points on your screen show things that they do every day. They're targeting incoming shipments once the shipment arrives. They are doing physical exams. They're screening those products for potential hazards. If they find any possible dangers, they will collect official samples of those products and send them into our laboratory for confirmatory testing. They also conduct a lot of outreach and education with both our government partners and our industry partners. Last year, our port investigators screened over 62,000 different types of products, looking for both substantive or performance violations, as well as more technical or administrative violations. And you can see some examples on this list. They are looking for a variety of chemical, mechanical, and electrical hazards. There is, of course, a large focus on products for more vulnerable populations, such as infants and children. All our investigators carry a variety of handheld tools. Some of them are quite sophisticated and expensive. Here is a tool they use every day, the handheld XRF analyzer, which is able to screen for heavy metals, including lead, which of course is toxic. I have some photos in my presentation. Here's an example. In both photos on the right is a CPSC port investigator. On the left is a US Customs officer. You can see our investigator using that XRF device to screen children's products for high levels of lead. It's very easy to use, and it's very quick and simple to get a reading on heavy metals from children's products. And these examples, of course, are a remote controlled toy car or some children's backpacks. The legal limit for lead content in the United States is 100 parts per million. These baby shoes, if you can see on the screen, have a reading of over 1,400 parts per million. Another tool our investigators carry is an FTIR, which screens for hazardous phthalates, a chemical plasticizer. We have two different types. The one on the left is a portable, rugged handheld device, and the device, I'm sorry, that's the one on the left. On the right is a more sophisticated desktop version that we also have at the ports. We also screen electrical products for hazards. We're looking at insulation and wire size and fuses, things like that. And you can see with these portable tools, our investigators are a very mobile workforce. They're even able to conduct exams at an airport directly as the cargo comes off a plane. So I mentioned that after we examine a shipment, most shipments are, of course, compliant. So that would be a clean or negative exam, in which case we release the shipment. If we do find a possible hazard at the port, we will collect an official sample of that product. We mail that product to our laboratory for further testing and analysis. If the hazard is confirmed by our laboratory and our experts at headquarters, in most cases, we will ask US Customs to seize that shipment on our behalf, so it never leaves the port. Our investigators spend most of their time at the port. However, this is just an example of other duties that they have outside of the port. They do a lot of training, a lot of presentations. They try to educate importers and brokers about the requirements, the product safety requirements in the United States. And if we come across a company that cannot or will not come into compliance, we'll follow a mode of progressive enforcement, and we will build a case against that company and refer it to our lawyers for possible civil or criminal penalties. Thank you very much for your time today. And I will gladly take any questions after the break.
네, 고맙습니다. 이제
Thank you very much. It was the last presentation by Deputy Director Sabrina Killer. For more details, we will discuss them in the panel discussion session. She shared with us the activities of CPSC and the collaboration with CBP as well. We have just listened to the 5 presentations. We learned from the case examples of 5 different countries, and it was such a meaningful time for us. We will soon begin panel discussion. We will first of all watch a video that introduces CUTS, and we will set the stage and then we will begin panel discussion.
Standards drive technological advancement in the world, fostering a flourishing economy, accompanied by dependable safety. Korean Agency for Technology and Standards is at the heart of activating a sustainable economy through technological industry standards. CATS, with a history of nearly 130 years, CATS achieved global competitiveness through the KS system and the National Unified Certification System. With strengthened manufacturing technologies, supported Korea's development of new technology. Furthermore, CATS became the invisible power to drive the national economy. Better life, sound society. CATS will continue to exert our utmost efforts for a sustainable world. Thanks to the promise of standards, standards are inevitable in every aspect of our daily lives. Standards are a guarantee for a convenient and prosperous life. We can observe them as standards for environmental protection, standards for the care of senior citizens and the vulnerable, and standards for daily life. Standards are the foundation of the economy growth. The KS system is a well-known representation of national standards. KS was the driving force in the development of Korea by improving the quality of Korean products and by helping Korean enterprises to receive international recognition. CATS contributes to securing the competitiveness of Korean exports by promoting Korean-sourced technologies as the international standards through industry-oriented standardization. CATS, as the Korean representative organization of ISO and IEC, dynamically advances as the leader in global standards by strengthening the standardization process in the technical development phase. For a safe Korea, CATS implements product safety systems for the verification of products for children, daily supplies, and electrical appliances closely related to our daily activities for the public safety. CATS evaluates any potential risks to customers before launching products in the market and issues the KC seal through a strict verification system. CATS ceaselessly strives to realize a safe Korea by implementing recalls for non-conforming goods and safety inspections after product launch in the market. CATS, as an organization that is responsible for conformity policy, assesses and verifies compliance of a product or service with standards or safety criteria. CATS implements the official certification system for evaluating and verifying the compliance of new technology certificates products. Furthermore, CATS endeavors to secure the competitiveness of the test certification industry through a strategy that develops and supports the promising test certification service. CATS establishes a legal metrology system for fair commercial transactions and for protection of consumers by setting a framework for legal units of measurement and by controlling legal measuring instruments and pre-packaged products. Under the Measures Act 13, categories of legal measuring instruments are strictly controlled. CATS makes every effort to avoid hampering business activities and remove obstacles to trade in terms of standards and safety regulations. Moreover, CATS resolves difficulties of exporting companies by tackling technical barriers to international trade, which has been consistently increasing as a result of trade protectionism dispersing throughout the world. When a business activity is hindered or a citizen is experiencing any inconvenience, CATS resolves the issues and makes a logical and rational change to the relevant policies for the nation to function effectively. CATS will be a leader in fostering a creative economy and in improving public satisfaction by implementing a user-oriented policy customized for both the public and the enterprises, the promotion of international standards and certification competitiveness, the safety management of the products, and the general management of technical regulations. The ways of life, created by standards, adding value to the ways, safety to value. We will dedicate to open up a new world for comfortable and prosperous lives.
네,
So now we are going to have a panel discussion. So today we are having discussion about imported product safety management and the supply chain reshuffling. And regarding this, we are going to have a more in-depth discussions. For this, we are going to invite panelists, and we are going to invite the speaker from ACCC and the KIPS of Korea, and the UOKIK of Poland, and the CPSC of the United States. In addition to that, and we are going to invite the two additional speakers from Korean side. One is from the Custom Shine, and the other one is from CSC. For the moderation, we are going to invite Mr. Lee Hyun-bae from CS1. Let me give a microphone to him. So hello, as introduced, I'm Lee Hyun-bae from CS1. I will be moderating this session. So as for the global the product and the harmonization code management, my organization is making efforts. So I'm here to support this forum. So today we have discussions about imported product safety management and the supply chain reshuffling. I believe that today's discussion will make tremendous contributions in order to establish relevant policies and to enhance international cooperation. Once again, I'd like to extend my sincere gratitude to all the speakers. So the U.S. is a very early hour. As for the Poland, and well, it is quite opposite time compared to the Korean time, and also it is a very late hour in Australia. So I'd like to send my sincere thanks to every one of you for joining us in this the difficult time. And we are going to invite 4 speakers, and as the announcer introduced, and we are going to invite 2 additional panelists from Korean side, and we are going to invite Mr. Yoon Young-bae from Custom Shine and Lee Eun-young from CSC. And by inviting 6 panelists, we are going to have discussions about imported product safety management and supply chain reshuffling. We have about 30 minutes to have discussions. So we have 3 different the questions, and we are going to give the questions to 9 the people. So, well, please answer 2 questions within 2 or 3 minutes. Then let's go into the first the question. The first question is product safety management strategies in the changing supply chain. This question goes to US, Poland, and Australia, and Korea. So please be prepared for this question. As well aware, and we are witnessing the conflict between US and China. So as for the economy and many other sectors, and there are the conflict between US and China, and we also witness conflict in many parts of the world. And after experiencing pandemic, we are witnessing the changing global supply chain. So we should prepare for these changes. So where should we focus on to ensure product safety management in response to these changes? So this is question. So the Sabrina Keller, could you answer to this question first?
Well, thank you so much for that question. I absolutely agree that the landscape of global trade has shifted and changed over the last decade or 2. I think we're all seeing an increasing volume of e-commerce shipments, direct-to-consumer shipments, and that is, I think, a challenge for all of our government agencies. I guess I would say for countries that are exporting consumer products, regulated consumer products, they really need to understand the different safety requirements of each recipient country. Ideally, they would file timely and accurate data. They would know their supply chains internally, and they would work to educate all of the e-commerce parties in their own country. And then countries that are receiving products would work to educate the source countries, the manufacturing countries, and the manufacturers in those countries, and also work to effectively ingest and risk assess any data on those incoming shipments.
예, 다음은 폴란드.
Next, the Katarzyna Bednarz from Poland. Could you answer to the question?
Thank you. Happily, Poland is a part of the European Union, so we are not alone facing problems. We try solving problems together with 26 other EU countries. Every negative change can be mitigated better when we have harmonized approach and cooperate to eliminate dangerous products. It means it doesn't matter where you find unsafe products in the European Union market. The same action or legal measure is taken by the Market Surveillance Authority. What's more, thanks to sharing intelligence, we avoid duplicating efforts. We have the external border of the European Union. That's why we focus on how to enhance cooperation between market surveillance authorities and customs service the most, as we think it's the most effective way to stop non-compliant products. Just don't release them for free circulation on the single market. Thank you.
네, 감사.
Thank you very much. I would like to ask Anjali Sood from Australia to answer this question. Considering the reshaping of global supply chain, what is your strategy of product safety management?
Thank you. So at the ACCC, we take a strategic and integrated approach to compliance and enforcement activities. And each year, the ACCC undertakes a scan of product safety risks to identify priority areas that allow us to focus our work on how they impact the Australian consumers the most. So for this year, we have 4 key priorities, and that's product safety online, infant sleep products, young children's safety, and safety issues arising from the green transition. So these areas capture a large part of our work, and although we do deal, of course, with emerging and high-risk safety issues as they come up. In Australia and everywhere else in the world, we relied heavily on online shopping during COVID-19 pandemic. So this year, and it continues to do so as well. So this year, one of our focus areas is to encourage online suppliers to collaborate, that we collaborate with on the Australian Product Safety Pledge to adopt best practices to prevent and detect the sale of unsafe goods online before they arrive in Australia. So we're particularly interested in technology tools that some of the online marketplaces are using to detect and remove unsafe products. And we're also focusing on taking enforcement action where appropriate in relation to unsafe, banned or non-compliant products online. On that enforcement front, we recently issued 10 infringement notices to Tesla for contravening the button battery standards by supplying untested key fobs, which were in the shape of toy cars. They also didn't have the necessary warnings. And recently, Tesla paid the fine of about 150,000 Australian dollars. This follows other discount stores that also paying infringement notices last year of around $250,000 for supplying Halloween novelty products that also didn't comply with the button battery standards. Thank you.
네, 감사합니다. 다음은
Thank you very much. Next, we'd like to ask Mr. Kang Song-chan from KIPS to answer the question. Since the COVID-19 pandemic, global trade has changed, and one of the biggest changes in Korea is that consumers' pattern of purchasing products changed. Previously, people purchased products more offline, but nowadays people prefer direct buying of products from overseas markets and also through e-commerce. And many people buy products through online, through e-commerce. So I think that our strategy of product safety management should be focused on the online sellers and online or e-commerce related companies. We have to strengthen our inspections for online products. And if you look at online sellers or online platform providers, they have lower awareness on the importance of product safety. Therefore, the companies that engage in online online shopping mall or online marketplace must receive education and training to increase their awareness on the importance of product safety. And it is also important to manage the safety of imported products at customs clearance. Customs clearance is regarded as the first gate of testing and inspecting the safety of the imported products. We need to strengthen our cooperation with Customs Office so that we can more effectively block any unsafe products from entering the Korean market. Regarding the strategies for managing the safety of imported products, COTS and our institute and the relevant institutions need to make improvement in terms of the policies and institutions. And one of the ways to make improvement is, as I presented before, is to gradually identify and address the issues of blind spot at the stage of customs clearance. Customs offices located in the southern part of Korea have weakness in terms of conducting safety management or inspection of the imported products. So we need to make improvement in this arena. Thank you very much. So we were talking about the reshaping of global supply chain, and I found that we focused on the online transactions of products. The second topic is related to this one. How can we enhance the awareness on the importance of products traded online? I would like to invite Ms. Lee Eun-young, the representative of Civic Group of Korea, advocating the rights of consumers, and Anjali Sood from Australia. Before COVID-19, we already saw an increase in the online shopping market. But after COVID-19, we saw an even higher growth in online commerce activities, which is still growing these days. As such, online market achieved an explosive growth, and the supply chain needs to become more agile and flexible. And we have seen changes in the global supply chain. So regarding online purchase of products and regarding the imported products that are traded online are increasing. So we need to enhance the awareness of companies and consumers on the importance of safety of products that are traded on the online platforms. And my question to Anjali Sood from Australia is related to your activities to provide outreach activities for overseas suppliers as part of your education. And as we mentioned before, current changes in the global supply chain might have some influence on your outreach activities for overseas suppliers. What kind of change do you expect in your outreach activities if you consider the current changes in the global supply chain? And what do you think the role of the role of the government must be for such education activities? My first question goes to Lee Eun-young. In order to enhance the awareness of consumers, what do you think we should do?
So hello, I'm Lee Eun-young from CSC. So we are witnessing great growth of online market. Even before the pandemic, we already witnessed a very strong growth. But experiencing the pandemic, the people started to purchase the products on online market more heavily. So the scope of items people purchase on the online platform is increasing. So actually, I look into the statistics. So in the year 2022, as of 2022, so online market takes up the 48.6%. So in the past, the offline and the mart had the bigger the portions, but in the year 2022, the online platform exceed its portions. So in the past, we experienced very fast growth of the offline and the mart, but the portion of those offline mart reduced to 14% now. So the people, increasing number of consumers are purchasing products on the online platform. So because of the mobile devices, the increase of the sales on the internet is increasing. In the past, the consumers use the PC, but now the increasing number of consumers using mobile device in order to shop on the online platform, which gives much more convenience to consumers. That's why online market is experiencing very sharp growth. Not only young generations, and the many different and the segment of a population are purchasing product on the online platform. So I studied consumer and the sales and the productions. So I asked a question to students, and the student answered, and they use the mobile device in order to purchase products on the internet. The young generation hardly use PC in order to purchase products on the online platform. So online platform is the easy and also the convenient. So in very fast manner, in very convenient manner, and the young generations they purchase the products on the online platform, because the young generation very easily purchase product on the online platform. Sometimes they do not read the information very thoroughly. About 2 years ago and 4 years ago, I carried out a survey regarding product safety. In the survey, I asked questions regarding how well the consumers read the information about product safety. The consumers in their 20s are very they are in very hurried manner when they purchase products on the online platform. So they hardly read information thoroughly. So the population in their 20, and they do not have good the information regarding product safety. So I believe that it is important to provide the trainings and workshops for young generations so that they can read product safety information more thoroughly. So through YouTube channels and other internet channels, we can provide information about product safety. And also on the internet platforms, and there are very active influencers. And by using influencer, we can spread information about product safety. So the portals and other channels can be utilized in order to spread information about product safety. So social medias can be heavily used in order to more effectively share information to young generation. So many speakers mentioned in their presentation, illegal product is circulated heavily on the online platform. And when it comes to the children's products, in particular toy products, and that there are high percentages of illegal the products. And also the online platform, it is the place where we witness high number of illegal products. So in the year 2020, there was a survey by Consumer Production and the agency. So more than 100 on the online marketplace were surveyed, and about 40% of them do not know about the relevant regulations. So they do not have a clear understanding about related the requirements, and when there are the illegal products, and they do not know how to report that. So they just circulate the products because they do not have relevant information. They just circulate the products. So we face the increasing dangers from those hazardous products. So it is crucial to share information about product safety. So we need to invite the online platform, the operators, and the retailers who are selling the products on the online platform. And also we need to provide the information to young generation by utilizing various channels, including social media. Sorry for long answer.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you. I would like to ask Anjali Sood from Australia to answer my question. I will ask the same question again. We have been talking about the online transactions, online purchase of products, and we've been talking about the explosive growth of online business activities. In this situation, if you consider such a change in our environment, what kind of change do you expect in your outreach activities for overseas suppliers, and how are you planning to respond to such changes in your outreach activities for overseas suppliers, and what kind of roles can government do for helping educating the overseas suppliers?
Thank you. So the Australian product safety system relies on consumers, businesses and government all working together to manage the safety of goods. And a challenge for the ACCC, and I'm sure for everyone, is the ability to protect consumers from unsafe imported goods. So part of, we're at the very beginning of our offshore supplier outreach project, but what we're hoping to achieve is to explore and evaluate education and engagement strategies that I've already learned so much about from what other countries are doing here who've attended the forum, and apply those strategies to Australia's engagement with offshore suppliers. We also utilise the Australian Product Safety Pledge when we're engaging with online platforms, and we're looking to expand our pledge to include other platforms in the future. On that, one of the ways that we've expanded we've adapted our way to deal with consumers is addressing sustainability and the importance of secondhand goods, for example. So consumers in Australia, there's a big secondhand market that is also traded online due to the cost of living crisis and also people's awareness of a green transition and willingness to buy secondhand goods. And as a result, the ACCC this year is focusing on that as a priority, and we're developing best practice guidelines that will circulate to consumers and to businesses. And just on that, the way that we share consumer messaging, we showcase it through the ACCC social media channels, which includes Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And we tap into our existing networks of stakeholders to share our key consumer industry messages. For example, we share with other consumer protection government agencies and also online platforms and also international regulators. And we do that through our international engagement through the OECD, and we participate in other OECD forums as well. For example, the Working Party for Consumer Product Safety, which Australia is also a chair of. And also for industry, we utilise the same social media channels, but we also have guidelines and supplier guidelines that we post on the Product Safety Australia website, and we actively reach out to consumer and industry groups to publicise our resources. Thank you.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you very much for your answer.
So this the weekend, there will be Singles' Day event in China. There will be Black Friday event. So when it comes to the online and the shopping and the product purchase, it is important to have the information about product safety. Let's go to the last topic. The last topic is about institutional measures to ensure imported product safety. So this question goes to Sabrina Keller from US and Katarzyna Bednash from Poland and Yoon Young-bae from Korea. As we heard in the previous presentation, all the countries are creating environment where people can use safe imported products with confidence by preventing illegal products from entering the country through joint inspection between market authorities and customs. So could you suggest possible future policies to ensure safety of imported products? Also, please feel free to share your thought on what institutional support should be provided by government. Sabrina Keller from US first.
Well, thank you so much for that question. This is something we have been working on for the last 15 years since my office was created in 2008, and something we continue to work towards improving. I think what we have learned with the US Consumer Product Safety Commission is that in order to build an effective import surveillance program, you really need three things. You need the legal authority in place. That is why we have formal agreements with United States Customs and Border Protection. That has all been documented in various formal agreements, memorandum of understanding, and so forth. And we also need to legally identify our responsibilities as well as the responsible parties in any sort of trade transaction, so we know who the responsible parties are. The second thing you need is data and information on incoming shipments so that you can risk assess it and do effective targeting as those shipments are coming in. So you need a way to accept or ingest that data and a way to use it effectively. There is obviously a huge amount of trade occurring, and we can't look at everything. So it's really about risk assessment and prioritization and being able to focus on the very highest risk shipments. And I think the third and final thing you need is obviously staffing and resources. You need to have the humans, the officers, the investigators at the ports on the ground who are able to bring their human experience and knowledge to the risk assessment process and are also able to conduct the physical exams and screening of the incoming cargo and shipments. Thank you very much.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you. Well, as for the imported products, so government should provide support. So let's invite Katarzyna Bednash from Poland.
Thank you for the question. In case of Poland, I will focus more on tools, on practical tools, as further development of IT tools to exchange information and to communicate results faster to a relevant authority is needed still. Development of tools based on artificial intelligence solutions that can support inspectors to detect unsafe products, assist them in analyzing results to target and reveal dangerous products better, and to assess a level of risk posed. And maybe in the future, even a tool to predict market trends, to better plan, create, and manage product safety policy will be invited. Thank you.
네, 감사합니다. 마지막
Thank you very much.
본부장님의
So next we are going to invite Yoon Young-bae. So hello. So about 1 year ago, I served as the staff member. So these days we have questions about the safety investigations, and there are about 5,000 people in customs. So when we do the screenings, and we actually look into the shapes and also more detailed information about products. So after some time, and we had a joint inspections, and why we should do the joint inspection, and the custom officers had some the curiosity about that. But each different organization has a different and the criteria. So when it comes to the importers, and they make a request to test imported products. So the criteria for each different product is different. For example, the children's products has the higher criteria and a higher standard. So the customs office should have the relevant informations. In the past, we just check the size and the scope of the products, but there are some the illegal practices. The outer, the shape and the size are the same, but internal contents can be different. So intentionally, some importers do violation. So it is important to seize those illegal products as well. That's why we should have a joint inspections in order to crack down those illegal practices. So customs and the officers and we can check the outer shapes, and also when it comes to the fluorescent products and the internal contents can be changed. So Incheon, Pyeongtaek, and the custom office have a close collaboration with experts in order to crack down illegal products. So these days, the customs office and also have interest about the e-commerce. So on the online platforms, and there are very the sharp increase of the product imports. So we dispatched some the customs officers to the airport. But as for the small amount of import, which is less than $20,000, then we cannot do the thorough screenings, but we cannot eliminate all the screenings because those small amount imported products can have the hazard as well. So in one port and in one and the airport, and we are doing the pilot the survey and investigations for small amount imported product as well. But in order to do that, we should have additional budgets. In order to carry out those investigations, we should secure human resources and financial resources as well. So in order to secure those resources, and we should have relevant regulations. And currently, the Article 246 and they talk about the joint inspections in the Customs Act. So we should have the relevant provisions. So based on this, the provisions, and we can invite increasing number of customs officers, and about the 70 people from customs office and 40 people from relevant organizations can be invited in order to carry out more thorough investigations. So when we have such an exclusive team, we can secure the safety. So this is the mid and short-term plan for custom office. Thank you. Well, thank you. So with this, we are going to the discussion about the imported product safety management and the supply chain reshuffling. With this, we are going to wrap up panel discussion. In very late hour, we have the participation from the Austria, the Poland, and the U.S. Thank you so much, and my special thanks go to Korean panelists as well. So let me give a microphone to announcer. So please give a big round of applause to panelists once again. So in late hours and in early hours, and the panelists actively participated to have a meaningful discussion. Thank you so much. Online and offline, we have a high participation, so I'd like to express my sincere thanks. My special thanks go to moderator Lee Han-bae. Thank you for moderating this session wonderfully. So today we had a 2023 Global Product Safety Innovation Forum. Behind the scene, many people made effort in order to realize this forum. So I'd like to extend my sincere thanks to every one of you. Based on the effort, we have a great forum, and also we can use the safe of the products. So as you mentioned, we are witnessing great changes in our marketplace, and we could have opportunity to share trend in each different country. And we had meaningful discussions, and online, offline, and we had a very active participation. Based on today's discussion, we can make effort in order to establish policies to ensure the product safety for the imported products. So this is a time to wrap up Global Product Safety Innovation Forum. Once again, I'd like to send my sincere thanks to the participants who are participating online and offline. With this, we are going to wrap up 2023 Global Product Safety Innovation Forum. Thank you so much.